welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. And Miss Juliet here in the back, we got two new kitties, I would introduce you, but they are currently still hiding under my bed. We got Georgia, who is, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She has this like line down her face, and it's really like white and tan on one side and black on the other, and this little black nose, and oh my gosh, she's so cute. And then we got Aspen, who is mostly Siamese. She looks completely Siamese. We were just intending on getting one kitty, but they were just both so beautiful that we couldn't resist. So now we have three little girls, and Miss Juliet right here is guarding the bed to make sure that no one comes out from underneath the bed. So it may be a while before we are one big happy family. Anyway, what I have for you today is I have a review of L'Oreal's True Match Lumi Cushion Foundation. This is $12.99 at the drugstore, so it is a little bit expensive as far as drugstore foundations go. I looked at it, I looked at it, I looked at it. I almost didn't get it, but I was so intrigued by the new type of product that I decided to go ahead and purchase this. Couple things. First thing, the packaging is really super cute. I got this in N4 Buff Beige. Excuse me, it's allergy season again. And so I think the packaging is really cute. It is a little bit fat. I don't really travel with my foundation, so that's not really an issue for me. But I think that if you were going to try to throw this in your makeup bag, it would be a little bit fat, but at the same time, the lid closes very, very well, and so I think it would travel quite excellently. This does only have 0.51 ounces of foundation, so usually with a drugstore foundation, you're getting 1 ounce. I've bought a couple that were a little bit less than an ounce, but I've never purchased a drugstore foundation that was only half of an ounce. So there is not as much product in here as usual. So if you consider that, you know, a normal drugstore foundation, you're going to pay around, we'll just average it out and say 10 bucks, and you're getting an ounce, you're getting half of that for $13 here. To get the same amount, you're going to pay $26. So at this point, we're getting pretty close to high-end prices. However, this is a really good foundation. I'm not sure that I'm using as much product as I use with a regular pump foundation or just a regular liquid foundation. So first off, I will say it does have a mirror when you open it up in the top, and there is supposed to be a pad here. When I purchased mine, I did check very carefully. I dug through several of the color that I wanted to make sure that the seal was intact. The seal was intact. I checked it very, very well, so no one has opened this and removed the cushion, but it's not there. I have contacted L'Oreal. It's been about 2 weeks, and I've had no response yet. So if I ever do get a response, I will update you and let you know. But there is supposed to be a little cushion here. I'm not really completely sad that it's not there, because I probably wouldn't have used it anyway. The only thing I would think I would use the cushion for is if I was going to just throw this in my makeup bag for kind of daily, throughout the day touch-ups. Okay, once you open this, you have the cushion here, and you just kind of lightly touch it, and the foundation comes off on your finger or your brush or whatever. So I have been using the Real Techniques, as I almost threw it, the Real Techniques buffing brush to apply this, and so I just tap it in and rub it on. Blend it really, really well. This is a very liquid foundation, so when you put it on, there's a couple of things that I like about it. One, it is very cooling, so immediately in the morning it kind of makes my skin feel a little bit refreshed, because it is a cooler texture, a cooler temperature, and I really enjoy that about this particular foundation. Another thing is that with it being a little bit more liquidy, it is a whole lot easier to really take your time and blend in. You have plenty of time to blend this product in. It really doesn't start to set for about 30 to 45 seconds if you just put it on your skin and kind of wait. It really blends beautifully. I think that it blends into your skin very nicely instead of just sitting on top. I have tried this without a setting powder. I have tried it with a setting powder, and I like it equally both ways. If I don't use a setting powder, I usually let it sit on my skin for about a minute before I start to apply any other products, and I don't find that there's any movement in the foundation as I'm using other brushes to apply like my contour, my blush, and things like that. If I do use a setting powder, I find that I can begin to apply blush and other facial products pretty much right away, and it's not moving the foundation. The only complaints that I have about this foundation are that it really only lasts for about 8 hours. And I have tried, you know, all sorts of different techniques to make it last longer. I generally use a primer. I've tried several different primers. I generally use a setting spray after I have finished with all of my makeup. I found that none of these things really make the product last on my face longer. It's a good solid 8 hours, and that's about it. A lot of my days go longer than 8 hours. I have worn this to the gym. Now, I am not a big sweater when I am at the gym. It doesn't matter whether I'm doing cardio or whether I'm doing yoga, Pilates, spin class, weights. It really doesn't matter what I'm doing. I really don't sweat on my face a lot. I sweat more below my face, but you know, around my hairline and things like that, I just don't get a lot of sweat on my face. But I did find that this product looked just as good when I was done with the gym as when I started. So the only time that I noticed that there was any kind of breakdown of the product was when I was doing a warm class. At the Y earlier this month, I don't remember what day it was, but the air conditioning wasn't working. We had fans on, even though it's February, it was a little warm outside. So the room was a bit warmer than usual, and I did find that that caused a little bit of breakdown. I have not noticed that in my just daily activities. However, with knowing that being in a little bit of a warmer room, doing that or doing hot yoga, and it really did sort of break the foundation down, I would think that that might happen in the summer as well if you were going to be spending a lot of time outdoors or in the warm sun. But then again, you know, most foundations that I have used from the drugstore do break down quite a bit in the summer heat. That's why in the summer I like to use powder foundations a lot more than I do in the winter. Overall though, I think that this is a really good purchase. It is one of my favorite drugstore foundations as far as the look. It's not one of my favorites as far as the lasting power or the price. And at this point, I can't really give you any information as to how long that 0.5 of an ounce product works, how long it lasts, because I have not reached the end of this product yet, and it is a little bit difficult to see how much product that you do have left based on what you have here. Another advantage to this is that you can, once you have finished this, you can pour any foundation that you want to back in here and use that cushion. So it does have a bit of reusability. I'm not really sure either about the hygienics of this. Now, I clean my brush all the time, so I'm thinking that that's probably, since I'm not really putting my fingers all over the pad, I'm only putting my brush on the pad, I'm not really depositing a lot of bacteria on that pad. I don't think that I would ever refill this though, just because it does have that pad that is constantly touching a brush that's touching my face. I'm afraid that if I was refilling it, that the bacteria might build up. So I would just purchase a new one, even though that is an option. So I'm going to give this product a good solid B-. I would give it a good solid B, except for the fact that it is a little bit more expensive than some of your other drugstore foundations. At this point of wearing the product, we are at the end of the day, so I wanted to show you what the product looks like after about 10 hours so that you can see that the product still does look nice. I still do have a nice finish to my skin, but it has started to break down a little bit. I would call this a light to light medium coverage foundation. If you want that light medium coverage, you do need to build it up a little bit. I don't really have a lot of success trying to build up more than kind of a light medium coverage. But if you're looking for something that is light, that feels good on your face, that you really can't feel throughout the day, and you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money, I do highly recommend that you pick it up. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.